Welcome to the Recon Trader. In today's video, I will show you how to set up and by the end of the video, how to deploy a Bitsgap grid bot with the objective of accumulating more Bitcoin in the form of profit generated by the grid bot. Now, if you're not familiar with Bitsgap, it is an all-in-one automated trading platform, but in reality, for me, it's really my go-to when it comes to grid bots. That is really their main weapon, is their grid bots. Now, they do also offer a trading terminal if you're going to do some day trading, and you can actually deploy your grid bots to demo trading before you deploy them to, say, live fire. But today's bot that we deploy will be deployed to live fire. Now, with that all being said, you can actually get started for free. I will drop a link in the description down below. And if you use my link, you'll actually have access to the Pro plan during your free trial. Now, once your free trial expires, you will more than likely want to upgrade to the advanced plan. Really, the basic plan isn't going to cut it, as it does not actually have the trailing up and trailing down features, which is an essential weapon for these grid bots. And so the advanced plan is by far the best choice, or if you think you're going to deploy more than 5 active trading bots, then you might want to step up to the Pro plan, which will actually get you 20 active trading bots versus, say, only 5 active trading bots. So that's enough jaw-jacking. Let's get this bot set up and deployed. But before we get too far into the weeds, for you FNGs that are not familiar with what a grid bot actually is, a grid bot's objective is basically to buy the dip and sell the rip back up. So you're looking for when the price goes down, you're buying at a lower price, and when the price goes back up, you're selling for profit. And on this particular chart, you can see some red lines and the green lines, and those lines basically represent open limit orders. The red lines are open limit sell orders, and the green lines are open limit buy orders. And so when the price action drops and hits one of these green lines, it executes a limit order to buy at that lower price. And then when the price reverses and goes back up, and that price action hits one of these red lines, it executes a limit sell order and then sells for profit. And so what you're really looking for is this choppy price action to take advantage of the dips and the rips back up. Buy low, sell high. All right, now that you have logged into your Bitsgap account, the first thing, if you're new to Bitsgap, is you'll probably want to click on My Exchanges. You will need to actually connect your exchanges to Bitsgap via API keys. You don't actually send any money to Bitsgap. Your funds stay on your exchange and are as secure as they can be on an exchange. And for me, this is actually one of the benefits of Bitsgap, is I can connect multiple exchanges to this platform and have access to a variety of different targets, because not all exchanges allow you to trade all the same coins. Qcoin versus OKX versus Binance, they all offer different coins, and I want access to those targets to deploy grid bots on, and Bitsgap brings that all into one platform, where with Qcoin, I can only deploy grid bots on the assets they offer, or OKX. Same thing, I can only deploy grid bots on the assets OKX offers. Bitsgap allows me to connect my exchanges via those API keys. And if I jump over here to the bot configuration part of the dashboard, you can see exchange. I give that a click, and these are the exchanges I currently have connected. And in this case, I will be using Binance US for my exchange. And I guess I should point out, if you don't see the actual bot configuration parameters over here, just click on Start New Bot, and they will pop up right over here on the right-hand side of the screen. Next, I need to select my pair. And in this case, I want to accumulate BTC in the form of profit. So I want BTC to be my quote currency. Now, your quote currency, regardless of what you might hear elsewhere, the quote currency, which is the standard in the world of trading, is the second asset in the pair. The first is your base currency. The second one is your quote currency, and your quote currency is the one that you accumulate profit in. So if I had USDT as my quote currency, my profit would be captured in USDT. So for today's bot, we want to accumulate Bitcoin and stack some sats, and therefore we're going to have BTC as our quote currency. And then we need to select a base currency, and in this case I have selected ADA. Again, you can go from a drop down box and see which pairs are available on your exchange to trade. In this case, I am going to select ADA. Now, it's very important to point out, in order for this bot to actually be profitable, ADA is actually going to have to outperform BTC to actually begin capturing profit. Now, one reason I selected ADA was it has not been pumping the same way that, say, DOT or Solana or some of the other crypto like ETH have been pumping. And therefore, there is the possibility that ADA is lagging and will pump after those coins get their pump out of the way. Now, another factor you want to consider is Bitcoin dominance, and that is the chart we're looking at here, is the Bitcoin dominance. And what the Bitcoin dominance chart basically shows you is whether or not Bitcoin is outperforming the altcoins. And a few videos ago, I had highlighted that if the Bitcoin dominance actually went up and broke above these levels, Bitcoin would continue to outperform the altcoins. I did, however, mention that this level here looked like it could be future resistance due to these past resistance levels where it rejected from, and a few days later it did actually reject at that level, and now Bitcoin dominance is going down. And the lower we can get this Bitcoin dominance down into this range, or even more like into the range down here where we saw back in 2018, like January of 2018, that's when the altcoins were really pumping. And so if this Bitcoin dominance trend continues in the downward motion, we could have several weeks of altcoins pumping, and that is one of the reasons why I would actually deploy a bot with Bitcoin as the quote currency. When this is rising, I would not deploy Bitcoin as the quote currency because Bitcoin will be outperforming your altcoins. So with that all being said, let's get this bot deployed. So the first thing I'll do is click on Start New Bot. I am going to deploy their S-Bot, which works best in a sideways moving or slightly upwards moving market. The exchange, I had already said, was going to be Binance US. And the pair I want to trade will be ADA BTC, so I give that a click. Now, the investment or the amount of ammo I need to give this bot, I will come back to that after I've configured my lower and my upper price and my grid spacing along with the number of grids. So let's get to actually configuring the upper and lower prices. And so I can actually click and drag high price. I typically look for previous resistance, so we'll drop that there for now. And then for my lower price, I am going to move that up into this region. And so now I have a lower and an upper price level set, and I kind of like having my price action in the middle, which gives me room towards the downside and the upside. So for now, this grid looks good, but I'm sure we'll make some adjustments as we go. Next, I need to determine my grid space. I typically find somewhere between 0.49% to 0.99% is the area I make my best profit. So in this case, I'm going to go 0.70%. And you can see that leaves me with only 8 grids. And now I want to enable the trailing up and the trailing down feature for this grid bot. And that is really the game changer for the Bitsgap grid bots versus a lot of the free grid bots you see out there. I currently have a battle of the bots running on Bitsgap versus Qcoin. Qcoin being free, Bitsgap being one you actually have to pay for the service. And I can tell you the results will be very interesting, which will be coming up in the near future in a video. So now you might want to shoot that subscribe button so you don't miss that update video on that battle of the bots. And so the trailing up and trailing down do exactly as their name states, is they trail that price up and move the grid up if the price exceeds my upper limit, or if the price continues to go down, it will follow that price down and continue to buy at a lower price, even though it's exceeded my lower price limit. And so we'll just toggle both of those options on. And then for the trailing down, I do need to set kind of a limit how far I want that to go down. And in this case, I'm going to make that 2,800, which is about 11% decline. And honestly, I don't deploy grid bots on assets I'm not willing to hold for the long term. And both ADA and Bitcoin, I'm willing to hold for the long term. I've actually been holding both of them since, well, Bitcoin for at least 2017 and ADA since at least 2018. And so I do continue to add both of these assets to my long-term hold portfolio. Now that I have that all configured, I've received a red box here around my grid stub, which means something is wrong. So if I give that a click, the maximum grid spacing that I can actually have for this particular grid would be 54%. So we'll give that a shot. And now if we scroll down, we can give the bot a back test and just see what type of performance we might expect out of this particular grid bot. But with that being said, it is important to remember that backtest results don't guarantee future results. And so far, the backtest results aren't terrible. They are kind of in line with what I would expect from this pair. Neither one of them are going to be extremely volatile when trading together as a pair. And you can see my 3-day result would be 1.55% or 0.5% profit per day. Now, if I can add 0.5% profit per day to my Bitcoin stacks, that's actually winning the battle in my book. However, I can tell you my trading fee isn't going to be 0.1% on Binance. It's going to be 0.07%. And that is going to change these results a little bit in my favor. And so it bumped it up to 1.71%. So I'm still at 0.5% profit per day on this particular configuration. And again, backtest results do not guarantee future results. My future results could be less if ADA doesn't outperform Bitcoin, or if ADA really pumps and outperforms Bitcoin, my results might be actually better. So now we have all the parameters configured. The last thing I really need to decide is how much ammo I actually want to give this bot. And in reality, I am actually going to give this bot the amount of Bitcoin I actually hold on Binance right now, which is equivalent to about 520 USDT. And so this is the amount I will actually let this bot have to go ahead and trade with. Now, in order to deploy a bot with BTC or any other asset other than a stable coin as your quote currency, you will need to hold that asset on the exchange. So if this was ETH instead of BTC, I would need to have some ETH available in order to deploy this bot. And with that being said, the bot will also probably need to buy some ADA if I don't currently hold ADA on the exchange, and it will buy it pretty much at a market order. And so with that all being said, this bot is pretty much ready to be deployed. The exchange is going to be Binance US, the pair ADA BTC, with the objective of accumulating Bitcoin as profit, and the investment amount is 0.00854 Bitcoin, or approximately $520. I have my lower price set at around $31.57. I have my higher price set at $33.41. My grid step is 0.54% with 11 grids. Trailing up is enabled, so I want to definitely follow this price up if it continues up. Trailing down is also enabled. I'm willing to buy at lower prices, but I do have a limit, and that limit is around 2,800 or 11% decline from my lower price. Now, a couple other options would be take profit, which would stop the bot once a certain percentage of profit was hit. I'm willing to let this bot run as long as it's producing that 0.5% profit per day. And then stop loss, same thing. I could stop this once the price hit a certain level. But in reality, I'm willing to hold on to both of these assets. And so I don't want it to actually stop and sell out of those positions. And so I'm actually not going to enable either take profit or stop loss. And we've already run the back test. So now we give preview a click, and the preview again is just going to go over all the parameters we just configured. So I'll click confirm. And then, as I mentioned earlier, it lets me know it needs to buy some ADA to go ahead and deploy this bot, and it's going to buy it at market price. So yes, buy ADA. And so a market order has been placed, and then the market order was filled. The bot is starting up, and you see the grids populate the screen, and success, the bot has been started. I can click done, and we can see down here at the bottom of the screen, the bot is live and up and running. So that pretty much wraps it up. I will do an update video on how this bot is actually performing in the near future, so now would be a good time to shoot that subscribe button. If you like this video, go ahead and spike a like. If you have questions or comments, drop those in the comment section down below. I will drop a link to Bitsgap in the description down below, and if you use that link, you get the pro plan during that free trial period. And so in closing, remember, never send your money into battle without first doing your recon. See you in the next video.